One post, just a few words on a screen. But within hours, thousands of fans were arguing, unfollowing, and demanding answers. What happened when one of daytime television's most outspoken stars unleashed another explosive online message? And why were longtime supporters suddenly worried about what might come next? Because this story was bigger than anyone expected. For decades, Nancy Lee Grahn, known to millions as Alexis Davis on General Hospital, built a reputation for saying exactly what she thinks. She never tried to be the quiet celebrity hiding behind carefully crafted statements. Her opinions were public, direct, and impossible to ignore. But recently, something felt different to fans watching from the sidelines. The actress had become known for frequent social media posts about politics, culture, and current events. Supporters praised her honesty. Critics accused her of going too far. Every new post seemed to ignite another online battle. But as tensions grew, observers began asking a new question. Was the controversy becoming bigger than the conversation itself? That's when the situation took an unexpected turn. Suddenly, fan communities were dissecting screenshots, sharing reactions, and debating every word. Some defended her fiercely. Others expressed concern about the increasingly heated exchanges. Before we continue, if you enjoy deep dives into celebrity mysteries and shocking entertainment stories, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Because what happened next caught even long-time viewers off guard. Nancy had never hidden her political views. In fact, her willingness to speak openly had become part of her public identity. But one controversial post triggered a fresh wave of backlash across social media, dividing followers almost instantly. The comments section exploded. Supporters cheered. Critics fired back. And suddenly everyone seemed to have an opinion. What made the situation so unusual wasn't simply disagreement. Celebrity controversies happen every day. It was the intensity. Fans weren't just debating ideas anymore. They were debating Nancy herself. Was she courageously speaking her mind? Or was the constant conflict overshadowing her work as an actress? Nobody could agree. And the arguments kept growing louder. Then came twist number one. Instead of backing away from criticism, Nancy continued posting. For some followers that was admirable. For others, it felt like pouring gasoline onto a fire. Every new statement generated fresh headlines and fresh outrage. The controversy wasn't fading. It was accelerating. And many wondered where the road would ultimately lead. Across fan forums, a strange pattern emerged. People who normally discussed storylines and characters were suddenly debating politics and social media behavior. Conversations about Alexis Davis became conversations about Nancy Lee Grahn herself. The fictional world and the real world were colliding. And not everyone was comfortable watching it happen. Some supporters argued that celebrities have every right to express personal opinions. Others countered that public figures should think carefully about the influence they carry. The divide became sharper with every passing day. But buried beneath the arguments was an even more intriguing question. Was Nancy actually worried about the backlash at all? If she was concerned, she certainly wasn't showing it publicly. Her online presence remained unapologetic. To supporters, that demonstrated conviction. To critics, it looked like defiance. The more criticism appeared, the more determined she seemed to become. And that determination created a second unexpected twist nobody saw coming. Instead of silencing her voice, the controversy expanded her visibility. People who hadn't followed Nancy before suddenly knew exactly who she was. News articles, fan discussions, and social media debates multiplied. Ironically, attempts to criticize her often generated even more attention. The spotlight was growing brighter. But brighter lights reveal deeper shadows. Then stories from previous controversies resurfaced. Older social media disputes, past public disagreements, long-forgotten arguments suddenly returned to public view. Critics pointed to a pattern. Supporters pointed to consistency. The same evidence was being used to support completely opposite conclusions. And the public couldn't stop watching. Was this simply another celebrity social media storm? Or was it becoming something more significant? Fans weren't just reacting to individual posts anymore. They were reacting to years of accumulated headlines, arguments, and controversy. The weight of the past was colliding with the present, and the pressure kept building. Then came twist number 3. While critics grew louder, many loyal supporters became even more vocal. They defended her right to speak freely and rejected demands for silence. Instead of weakening her fan base, the controversy appeared to energize part of it. Suddenly, the backlash wasn't creating one reaction. It was creating 2 completely different realities. On one side stood those who believed Nancy was saying what others were afraid to say. On the other stood those who felt her posts crossed important lines. Both groups claimed they were protecting something valuable. Both believed they were right. And neither side showed any signs of backing down. The battle had become deeply personal. Meanwhile, casual observers watched in disbelief. How had a television star's social media activity become such a powerful lightning rod? Why did every post seem capable of launching another wave of controversy? Was this simply the nature of modern celebrity culture? Or was something else driving the intensity behind the reactions? As months passed, one truth became impossible to ignore. Nancy Lee Grahn wasn't disappearing from public conversation. If anything, she was becoming more central to it. Her critics remained focused. Her supporters remained loyal. And every new headline seemed to reignite old debates. The cycle continued with remarkable force. Then came the most surprising realization of all. The story was never only about politics. It wasn't only about social media either. It was about identity. Fans had spent years building a connection with a beloved television figure. When that figure expressed controversial opinions, people were forced to confront how much they truly knew about the person behind the character. And that's the revelation that stunned so many observers. The real shock wasn't what Nancy posted. It was how strongly people reacted. A screen character and a real human being had become intertwined in the minds of viewers. When controversy erupted, fans weren't simply responding to a celebrity. They were responding to someone they felt they already knew. Today, Nancy Lee Grahn remains one of the most talked about personalities in daytime television. Her supporters continue defending her. Her critics continue challenging her. And every new post carries the potential to ignite another firestorm. But here's the haunting question nobody can answer. Will the next message finally calm the storm? Or trigger the biggest backlash yet? Stay tuned, because this story may be far from over.